Hello and welcome to the 17th tutorial on how to program in Gscript2. So, in this tutorial I'm going to show you about uploading images and using them for NPCs and other things. So for this I created a little image called Awesome Flower, and it's 32 by 32 pixels, and it's a .png file. It can also be a .gif file if I wanted it to. So the first thing I want to tell you is that images and in Graal do not allow total black and total white. Like, look at this. This background looks black, but when you go into it, it's actually very close to black. It's slightly whiter than black. Like, look. It's just not totally black, which is why it's going to be allowed. But using anything totally white or totally black isn't going to work. We can also use transparency in our images. That'll work, but Paint doesn't really allow transparencies. So anyway, I'm going to close that. Then I'm going to go into RC and click this little plus square next to the levels folder and go to images. Then I'm going to upload an image. I'm going to right click anywhere I want and upload the image. You'll see here say uploaded the file images awesomeflower.png. So now it's there. Let's go into level editor and double click on NPC and put set image awesomeflower.png in quotes. If we take out these quotes, it'll think we're using a variable. We just want the name of the image. We don't want to use a variable. So we'll close that. Oh, I don't want to upload the level into the images folder. I want to upload it into the levels folder. So I can see here, we have a little image here, and with the collision is automatically set to the size of the image. So a cheater, or someone who wants to cheat and go through the image, can go into the Graal folder, change the size of the image to like 0, 0, and then, well, they would be able to walk through it. The way to make it so that can't happen is go into the script and put set shape 1, 32, 32. This will change the size of the image to 32 pixels by 32 pixels. So X and Y. The first number, in the first parameter, doesn't really do anything that I know of, and you can just set it to 1, which is what I always do. And this is how many pixels. One tile is 16 pixels, so if you do the math, this will be 2 tiles by 2 tiles. Now another thing is, every NPC, the 0, 0 coordinate in them is the top left corner. So if we made it 32 by 32, it'll go 32 pixels across, then to 32 pixels down, which is going to be like that. It didn't really do anything, but it wasn't supposed to. If we change it to 64 by 64, the image will become 4 tiles of length and 30 tiles of width, as you can not see. Maybe we should supposed to put it afterwards, or maybe we didn't save it. Huh. Anyhow, it's working now, and you can see we can't walk through this 4x4 area. We can also just make it so it has no image, and then it'll just be an invisible wall, which can be good for allowing players to not enter anything or enter past something. Now let's say, well, actually there's another way to show images. It's called show image. Actually, no, I'm going to show you one more thing. If we put set image, it'll have a collision. We can do don't block to get rid of the collision, so then you can walk through the NPC or wherever the image is. We can also put block again afterwards to make it block again, but by default it's already blocking. Anyway, let's type show image 300, then awesome flower.png in quotes, then player.x player.y. Now this command can be used in NPCs or weapons, and what it does is it creates a image at the coordinates of wherever you want, and mine, I'm going to put it on the player. And this beginning number is the ID of the image, and I'll show you what that does in a second after I do this. So you can see an image appears over me, but it's not going to move anywhere when I move because it doesn't loop through it. If we made a loop, like let's say for loop, then it would constantly update the position of the NPC or the image. Oops, the for loop broke very quickly. We want to put sleep 1, or else the for loop is going to break itself because there's a limit to for loops. So anyway, now it's following me. If you're going to be doing something like this, you usually want to use a function loop like this. So we're just going to do that. Now here's something else you can do. Actually no, I'm going to tell you what the ID does. The ID is the ID of the image. If we waited a few seconds, then called the image again, by the same ID number, it would update the position or the image of whatever we put. So it's updated right there, then it waits 2 seconds and updates right there. If we change the ID to something like 301, or a number different than the original one, it's going to create a different image. So there's going to be 2 flowery images. See, 2 of them. We can also use this to delete the image by making it the same ID, then just taking out the file and just put nothing. If we make the ID lower than 200, like 150, the image will be shown throughout for everyone in the entire level, even though it's under client side. Show image is just a very special command where it can be shown server side too. So anything over 200, like 250 or 300, is going to be shown for just the player, but it's going to be a lot smoother looking. Like by smoother, I mean if we put 0.5 under an ID of over with an ID of over 200, it would work here like this. But with an ID of under 200, it would be rounded down to the nearest tile. And so if I was on tile like 30.5, it'll get rounded down to 30, which is why using this to make smooth kind of images isn't a very good idea. But it still works nevertheless, and I guess that ends this tutorial on how to program in Gscript2. So I'll see you next time, and I think you have a better understanding on how to call images and use them. So anyway, bye.